Tripp Watson here, entrepreneur attorney for the Watson Firm. We're going to talk a little bit about business structuring. So whether you're starting your business or whether you've been in business for a long period of time, the way that your business is structured from a legal standpoint is critical. Whether that's a single member LLC or whether you have dozens of different LLCs or corporations spread across a number of states, the way that you structure your company needs to be intentional, because the way that you set up a small business out of your house is going to be set up entirely different than if you were looking to raise 6 or 7 figures worth of fundraising in your first 12 months. Now, when you're setting out, there's some big questions that you should be asking yourself before you even set pen to paper. The first is, how much is my business going to need in order to get off the ground? If I'm opening up a relatively simple home-based business, that might simply be $100. But if I'm trying to open up a very expensive restaurant or something like that, then my build cost could be easily into the 6 or 7 figures. You need to have an understanding on the front end of how much the business is going to cost to get off the ground, because that is going to dictate how you fund your business. And if you're able to do that through bootstrapping, which is using your own money, that's great, but most people can't. So you've got to have a strategy on where the rest of the money comes from, which is why business structuring is so critical. If you're trying to use a fairly simple, basic LLC agreement that you found online and you're trying to raise tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, you're setting yourself up for problems, because those types of LLC agreements are not designed for that. It's basically like taking the bicycle on the highway. So what you want to have is the flexibility to be able to do whatever it is that you're looking for. So a single member LLC agreement might be great for somebody working out of their truck, but if you're trying to take in significant amounts of money, not so much. The other thing to think about as far as business structuring is how to segment your liability. We talk a lot of times about LLCs being buckets, and they are buckets of assets and liabilities. And you want to make sure that the liability in one bucket doesn't necessarily affect the assets that you have in another bucket. So making sure that there's clear delineation between kind of your threats and your opportunities gives you the ability to structure your business so that if something were to go bad, you still have some level of protection in the future. For instance, if you're operating a multi-location business, you don't want the failure of one location to bring down the rest of the enterprise. Now, business structuring is obviously a complex topic, and it's something that we can talk about during an initial consultation. But if that's something that we can help you out with, if you have a business that you'd like to set up and you need to get the strategy on your structure set up, that's something that we can help you with. So give us a call. My name is Tripp Watson again for the Watson Firm, the Entrepreneur's Law Firm.